Hi, hello, and welcome to the Energy of the Week. My name is Winona. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? And how was last week? This week we are doing a reading for June 16th, 2025 to June 22nd, 2025. All right, so let's get into the reading. Okay, so the overall energy, the focus of the week is fear. Fear. And how, right on the bottom of the deck, is energy. So the energy of fear is really potent in our collective energy. I feel like that almost goes without saying, but it is confirmation from spirit that it is the uncertainty. It is the world outside and then the world inside of us too, being reflected back and forth. This nervous, anxious, unknowing energy. And interestingly enough, how spirit wants to talk about the properties of fear is what they're saying. It's like uncertainty, like how it can be like a tool used for malicious reasons, and then also something that can open up our world to new possibilities and new understanding and new realization, and how fear can foster more knowledge, foster the desire for more wisdom and understanding in order to control what is actually going on. And just looking at fear as not only as something that could be seen, how it's not negative, how fear can not only that it is a feeling, but the feeling itself isn't what makes it a negative thing. It's our concept of it. And for some, fear is like the fear is good for some, as in there's some people here that are they're fearful of a new chapter, they're fearful of walking through the store. What is happening, right? What is going on beyond the store that you've never walked through before? Unprecedented times. Unprecedented times. What is behind it? What happens next? Let's go into what messages can support us through this week of what else is happening. Beginning of the week. Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck and the Six of Pentacles. So an energy exchange, trying to find evenness. Somebody is finding a new passion, new energy, and wanting to create business, and wanting to create balance in relationship, and wanting to create balance in health. Like what this is giving me is, you want to become stronger, you want to become more fit, so that this is being highlighted. You want to become more fit because you want to live a good life into old age. You don't want to be crumpled up into a C shape when as you grow older. You want to grow, you're thinking about longevity. So we're thinking about our lifespan. What does that look like? And so there's this new vigor, like this new energy, enthusiasm that's going behind that larger world view. And are the things I'm putting energy into, are they going to sustain me in the future? And like planting seeds right now, planting seeds that are going to be yield that wealth, yield those good things for you later on in life. Beginning. Okay, so the beginning of the week, we have the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the moon and Judgment. So once again, a little bit more fear of the unknown. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of unknowns right now, and fear of judgment, fear of being called into action, fear of the old coming back. And these are two major arcana cards. Let me clarify this. Spirit. Okay. For some, it's fear of being seen, fear of attention, fear of being given what you want, oddly enough. It's that kind of fear. There's really more I want to say, but I'm I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable about saying what more of this message means. So, excuse me while I let that go for now. And let's move on to the end of the week. And so we have at the end of the week the Six of Cups, the seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups and the Magician. Seven of Cups and the Magician. So there are opportunities ahead of you, and feeling good about the opportunities that are ahead of you, and that you are capable of working them out, of being able to seize the opportunity and do something with it. This is about magnetizing and manifesting a desire. And instead of just one thing comes, multiple things come. And so then you have to decide what it is you want to do with it. What do you want to do with the opportunity? Okay, let's go back to the elephant in the room. All right, let's talk about the middle of the week. So, this is kind of interesting and kind of a complex message. So, the middle of the week mentions, interestingly enough, I've never got it like this before, but fear of investing into the military, fear of investing into the military industrial complex, the choices that people make, that are in power, and that kind of fear and shock, something shocking in the middle of the week of news. Yeah, so it was very loud, the word military. And being activated. It's like the shocking things that can be activated, things that were in place that were no longer, that they were put in place, they were taken out of place years ago, like for good reasons, they were laid to rest. And yet now, something in the beginning of middle of the week where they are brought back, and it being shocking. So I don't really want to leave that energy. I'm going to disconnect from that. So let's go to the advice, to the guidance. And that is not, these messages are never to and generate more fear, but only to arm us with more knowledge of, and expect being able to know what to expect, or know what types of energies to expect in the week to come. I just want to clarify that so much. Beautiful. So, what we have as advice: connection, heart chakra, so staying connected to your heart. And the only illusion is separation. There's so many energies in this world that try to, and so many events sometimes that can make us feel so disconnected from each other. But in truth, we are all here on this earth together, having different experiences, but also the same experience. And none of us are alone. Like, none of us are alone. And we are, to me, to me, all of us, our souls are connected. And this, each of us in our own experience, these are just illusions. And on the bottom of the deck, On the bottom of the deck, we have is trust. And regardless of the fear, regardless of the things that may come up, but to trust in that separation is only an illusion. Connection and love is the answer. And don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. Don't lose sight of humanity. There's just this heavy weight, collective with collective energy, like right now, the way that it is like sitting in me. It just feels so, it makes me so sad. It just feels really, it makes like, it just makes me so sad because it just feels so fragmented right now, and it feels so divided, and that is just not true. Like it's just not a real, it's unreal what's happening. It's unreal that to not feel like we aren't connected, because we are. It's so weird. Anyway, okay, that's my ramblings. We're living in weird times, and I love you. And thank you. Thank you for sharing the sacred space and time with me. I hope this message supported you in some way. I thank the divine, thank you, spirit, as always. And I will see you next week. Love you. Ciao.